Dude, I gotta start doing this more often, man. It's just I would like to do this at least once a week, just to have some continuity, continuity, continuity. It's just I'm thinking about just like having the same like group of people on, like at least just once a week. That way, like, yeah, there's no more get to know you or anything. I don't know. Even for what I've been doing, I still get anxious and nervous talking to people. Like yesterday, I gave myself an anxiety attack. I gave myself a little, a little panic attack. Just, I was anxious about something. See, we were talking about like, if you had a superpower, what would it be? You know, you know. I decided to like go, not be a little more original. Like if I had a superpower, I'd say that it was bulletproof. But then what I immediately started thinking is, if oh shit, it's raining and my Converse aren't outside. Hold on, give me 1 second. Sorry, I left my shoes outside to dry and they were still it started raining. Yeah, so I started panicking because I realized if I were suddenly to become bulletproof, I'd still be really skeptical of of actually trying it out. Basically if you have super strength, you just pick up a car and see if you got it, or if you could fly, you just try it out close to the ground. Uh, but bulletproof is kind of like there's no way to test it out without no risk. I just immediately thought, okay, you're bulletproof. Go, like someone telling me, okay, you're bulletproof. Go on out there. I was like, okay, Mister. I don't know, probably a wizard or a genie tells me, and man, I just because my immediate thought is like if I knew I was bulletproof, I could go play. I think about going to third world countries and knowing that they can't do shit to hurt me. It was like there's a lot of places I'd like to go. A lot of places I would travel to. Anyways, I think I read somewhere that people should go to rehab centers. Should go to rehab also for gaming. For gaming. For fucking gaming. Or for like when they have like any type of any addiction that they can feel is unhealthy. Now I'm all for like addressing like if you have an issue, if you like sit at your computer for like 54 hours dehydrated and no, like that, like that's like really a serious issue where you go days without sleeping. But wouldn't that be like it's the same thing like when like that I said when the vaccine came out. Uh, I don't want to be like I don't want to go to rehab. Like I've been watching a lot of cartoons recently, like animated like cartoons, from DC. Like I've been watching a bunch of DC movies. I binge watched Young Justice, so much so that it affected my schoolwork. And for a minute, I thought to myself, man, if I keep this up, I need to go rehab. No, I'm a Marvel guy, but you know, uh, just got put onto HBO Max recently, so like all DC cartoons are there. All the animated movies, which are pretty cool. I like, but there's a reason I don't like DC Marvel. I like Marvel more than DC is that DC has like a really dark tone that they try to go for, which I hate. Like they try to make some of the stuff depressing. Like there's a DC animated universe. Basically, like all the movies are linked to each other. I think it starts with like the Flashpoint Paradox, Justice League, the Flashpoint Paradox, ends with uh Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, which is basically their Infinity War before anyways. Like what really pissed me off is that the first movie of the franchise, it's like the Flash, and and he time travels to save his mom in the past, and then like comes back to the future and or the present, and it's all fucked up because the Justice League's not together, the world is at war, all because he saved his mom, and then towards the end, like at the end of the movie, he manages to like switch it back together. But what happens is, and I had to Google this. I had to do my research. He at the end he makes everything right, but it's still like a different universe because the ripple in time is similar, but still not the same. So then I started watching all the movies, some movies that were prequel to that event, and I had to Google the timeline. The Flashpoint Paradox happened right here. So this is the new timeline. That means the prequel was Justice League War, the and whatever, all the other movies, Batman Bad Blood, or I think it was. But I think there's like 13 of them. It's 13 movies in this universe. But like by the end, it like pissed me off because I think this movie came out a couple of years ago. I think it's not that old, and it just ended up that he has to do the whole shit over again. And like I hate when movies or series do that, like because it gives me a feeling that the whole story was for nothing. Like people would talk about Uncut Gems, by with Adam Sandler, and how like, oh man, that was a great movie. Like me personally, I hated that movie. I could not I could not stand it, and like not because I'm trying to be like a down, like I watched it and I tried to like it. I thought, hey man, this is cool. Like Adam Sandler looks different. He might actually, and like from what I've been hearing, is good. But no, fucking no. It's one he gets killed at the end, and everything like that pissed me off. Pisses me off because it feels like the whole movie could have ended at any point and the outcome would have been the same. Like, what difference would it be made if he gets shot at the end, if not shot in the middle, or shot 10 minutes from the beginning, or 5 minutes from the beginning? Like, it won't make a fucking difference because that's the whole. That's up to the end. Like there's no I have no I get no satisfaction from them. Dum bum ba bum. I can't get no ba. I can't get no satisfaction. Sorry, I went off on a tangent right there. But yeah, I can't get no ba. I can't get any satisfaction from any of that. I watched, Clerks, the like Kevin Smith's first movie directing. Like because I heard like what I like about some movies is like I like this. Like I might be getting into indie movies because of this, and like I think I have aspirations to be like some type of filmmaker. I would like to make movies someday. So I've watched these indie films and like they how they're made, and like I found out that Clerks was made, and when I found out what Kevin Smith had to go through to make Clerks, I was like dumbfounded and discouraged in a way because there was no way could be that dedicated. At least not now. It's 1990. It's 1993. And Kevin Smith got is working at like the play at the convenience store that the movie is shot in. And I okay, and I read it. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. I first heard about it like because I watched a lot of top 10 videos, so that's where I first heard about this. But yeah, what I was more interested in, like the movie is great. I liked it. 37. It's like so like it was so funny and well made that like what I was really interested in was like how to produce. It says the film was shot at a budget like under $3,000. I think specifically it's the budget was $27,575. Like, and when I think about that, when I look at like low budget movies, a low budget movie would be like some would be they say $8 million. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I can't fathom that. Like putting like I can't imagine it. Like anything like $1 million, like 500,000, 100,000. That all that stuff. Like I can't fathom having that much money and considering it's low budget. But two. $27,575 was the budget for Clerks. Kevin Smith sold his comic books sold his comic books. What the fuck is wrong with me? Comic books. Maxed out 8 to 10 credit cards and took out money from from his college fund to fund the movie. Like that's fucking insane. And saying that like when he worked at the convenience store during the day and shot film during in the nighttime while the store was closed, which is 10:30 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. while the shop was closed. Hence the plot point of the shutters being closed due to a vandal having jammed gum in the padlocks. So there's that. And by the end of the 21-day shoot, Smith was unable to stay awake for some of the most climactic scenes of the film were shot. Wait. Oh yeah, because Smith was working at Quick Stop during the day and shooting the film at night, he frequently slept no more than 1 hour a day. Like just thinking about that, like boggles my mind. Another thing I started looking into is movies that took forever to make, like where the production is like fucking it takes is like so delayed and it takes years, and like all these crazy movies like it's top 20 and like it starts like movies that take 5 years, and like number one is like number two is one when I remember clearly, it's a stop motion picture by I forgot what the guy's name is, but he like it's a guy who did the was the design producer for like Star Wars, and he uses a lot of like Star Wars, RoboCop. He uses a lot of stop motion uh, in his films. So he was working on this film called Mad God. I read the movie came out 2021. Production he started making the film 1991, 1990 or 1991. Yeah, 1990. The film took 31 years to make, and like you watched the trailer, I was like, this is like a fucking creep show, but I feel like obligated to like watch this just because of how long it took to make. Turns out like he made the tippet. Let me see. Uh, Mad God, 2021 film. Director Phil Tippett. Phil Tippett started a Kickstarter account and that's where they used to fund the movie. I think that's like that's weird. I just don't know, like and that's what scares me. I'm not sure if I'm that dedicated to. That's from like that's from me. Like I just can't, fam. Like you give me like 30 grand, which was how much Clerks was made for. I'm too tempted not to use it for a car, or I mean maybe if you give me 30 grand, I might buy cameras and shit, like a bunch of cool stuff I need, 4K cameras. But man, I don't know. I need to look into it. I heard someone somewhere, and I hate saying that there was a time where like film schools would give a couple college students like $10,000 in a camera and try to make a movie. Like, like you think of even porn. Porn is like sometimes it's hard to focus because like the plot is not enough to carry the story. I watched like two different videos and I'm like, this house looks very familiar, and it does because like it's the same house from like the three other videos. I see like some of the locations that take place. Like, what the fuck was the budget for this? Because they had to like rent out that whole store or house or whatever the fuck it is, wherever the fuck it is being shot, and they had to clear that whole place out. Uh, is like a office building, police station, a fucking police station, props, a cop car. Where the fuck do they get a cop car from? And you don't act like y'all don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Uh, The only reason I'm not slacking off as much right now, like seriously, like at the moment, is probably because the there's two shows I've been watching, both cartoons, for some, of course. One is Young Justice, which I binged for the past like for in a week. Young Justice and fucking Invincible, which watched a while back, like a couple of months ago, and I'm waiting for season two and the second part of season two of Invincible and the second part of season four on Young Justice. Young Justice, like that was interesting. I remember because I was like 10 years old when that first came out. Like 10, 11, 9, 10 years old when it first came out on Cartoon Network. It was like around the same time as Adventure Time. And oh my god, I love Cartoon Network back then. But this was back when I was still watching TV, and I was kind of a late bloomer when it came to like streaming services and everything. Because like I didn't have Netflix until I was like fucking 16, 15 or 16 probably. Only because my dad like my dad was old school, so we had like cable TV for like a really long time. I didn't get it like a I didn't have any game system. Like I didn't I never had like a game console until my dad bought me an Xbox 360, and that was like in 2014. And he bought me an Xbox 360 in 2014. Was like he bought it for me the Christmas that the PS4 and Xbox One came out, because it was like at a fucking discount, of course. And like I had to return it like 7 times to get one that functions, exchange it. What was I talking about? What was I talking about before this? Young Justice. What was I talking about? Yeah, I remember Young Justice when it came out. I was a kid, and it was like then when I like as I got older, I was like uh, I actually found out scrolling like I wonder why they cancel that show. I was like pretty. It was like a pretty good show. A good show. It only lasted 2 seasons, and I'm like, what? Why did they? I never knew. I thought I know reasons. I thought shows just ended like because they ended. Yeah, like I never even thought about it. Like, what? Why is that show being canceled? Like it just came on, or like none of that stuff ever crossed my mind. But back to the top, watching top 10 videos. I looked up a video of like top 10 TV shows or cartoon top 10 shows canceled for stupid reasons. And I realized, and when Young Justice came, like popped up, I was like, oh shit, like I remember this. It turns out like they were canceled because like the ratings show that more girls were watching Young Justice than boys. And like what happens when like these animated shows are on, like they at the same time they make toys, to and toy sales of the show, the toy sales of the show dictate like the budget of the cartoon. The more toys you sell, the more money you have to budget for the cartoon. And when they found out that it was more girls than boys watching Young Justice, and that girls are less likely to buy toys than boys, they canceled the show. Which it doesn't make fucking sense to me. Like you watch Netflix, there's no Big Mouth or F is for Family, uh, um, there's no South Park toys. There's no fucking Invincible toys. So how did like I was like, and when I found out like how expensive it was to make a cartoon, I was like, what the fuck? And I realized, and then like it's all I'm starting to connect the dots, and I'm like South Park. I saw another video that said like where they give facts. It's like the average cost to animate one episode is $600,000, but South Park spends only half of that with their animation style because their animation style is kind of like two dimensional, and like I love South Park, and when I see that, like it kind of makes sense because when you see the stand they took against the fucking like when they were censored by China, when they took shots at China, and roughly every other like company or show will be like scared because like all the money that's coming from China. But then you see something like South Park, and I think this podcast is not about to show up on China anymore in China anymore. And it's not that I know anyone who will watch it there, but how South Park stuck it to them. They released a statement or something. What was it? South Park. South Park, the China problem. The China problem. Oh my god. Uh, the China incident. I might look out. Notorious South Park China episode. Screened on the streets of Hong Kong. Okay, so they got the show banned in China. Banned in China. The most recent episode of the 23rd season, Comedy Central. Tonight in Sham Shui Po. I hope I said that right. South Park episode banned in China. Shown on the street at large and appreciative audience. I can't fucking read, man. What the fuck? I can't read at all. I don't know if it's the pressure. Oh my god, I need to start reading. I've been I've been using audiobooks ever since I started going to college because of this reason. China statement. South Park China statement. They issue an okay. The creators issue an apology, but I think it's how that is what they said that's really important. Where was the statement? Oh, it's on Twitter. It's on Twitter. Okay. Official apology to China from Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the South Park creators. Like the NBA, we welcome the Chinese censors into our homes and into our hearts. We too love money more than freedom and democracy. Xi doesn't look just like Winnie the Pooh at all. Tune in to our 300th episode this Wednesday at 10. Long live Great Communist Party of China. May this autumn's sorghum harvest be bountiful. We good now, China? Oh my god, these guys are ruthless. Don't care. Don't care. Some people just have to tell themselves they're gonna be fine. You know, I think like that's the like money is so worshipped in culture that like just to get that extra buck, you know, and and like not only that, like it's like there's a respect people earn for being about their business, and you know, they're like there's a the people some people like earn feel like they should be earning respect with the more money they're getting because they feel like the money they make is equivalent to the sacrifice they make, and like which I can understand that, but like sometimes there's this thing called pride, and like this pride isn't always bad. And I don't know where I'm going with this, but you know, I think it's like I'm trying to say something about you know, at a certain point when you do things for money, it is selling out. You know, and that's my biggest fear in life. You know that I know a lot of things. I say a lot of things. I think I use that expression way too much. That's not my biggest fear in life. My biggest fear in life is clowns. That's probably it. You know, death. Who gives a shit? You know what I found out when what really like fed up my ego, got my ego up, was when like I found out that public speaking is like it's a top three fear in people, and it's up there with death and taxes. No, not taxes. That's another thing. With death or heights or whatever. Like it's public speaking is a top three fear for most people. Some people fear it more than death. Speaking publicly, I was dumbfounded by this. Was like because I'm like that's what I do. That's what I want to do for a living, and it's like you know I can't. I'm sorry. Like in my head, there's this kind of like I'm not trying to say like or you know so many times. So I'm trying. That's why I'm stammering and pausing a lot because I'm not trying. I'm trying to like. I'm trying to correct my speech. I can't even watch my last episodes because it's so embarrassing how I talk to people. I don't know how to talk to people for sure. I think I need to do it often. Did I say like? I don't know. Oh my god, it's so second nature by now. I have to like fuck. Damn it. All right, I can do this. I can do this. I have to go out more and talk to people so I can work out these bad habits I have while speaking. Watch it like fuck. Watching my old episodes, I cringe a little bit because especially during that period where I was having like especially during that period when I was having more experienced comics on, people who've been on TV, people I've seen on TV, people who have specials out, Dwayne Perkins, Bill Dawes, Brad Upton, and I regret those episodes not because of talking to those people, but because I was such a giddy comedy fan. I was still talking to older, experienced comics like I was a fanboy, and I didn't like that. Okay, I'm doing so good so far. We're gonna work it out. That's why I regret those episodes. And I remember I shot these episodes when I first started doing stand up, and it's about to be a year ago. It's about to be a year from a year now since I shot those. It's like a period of 6 episodes probably that helped me so much. And I want to thank those people because if it wasn't for them, I probably would have my development probably would have been so slow and so far. I would have been so far behind because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to listen. Not only I wanted to do it that I wanted to listen. I wanted to know how to talk to people. And talking to these people, I was so giddy and I was such a like, and I was such a fanboy. Even though like, not saying like like a fan of them, more of a fan, like a comedy fan, and just looking back at that, I just cringe because oh man, like I want like there's so much information that I now need for them, and that's probably the learning experience that I've been going through. Well, today like I touched on a bunch of topics, didn't finish any of them. I don't think. I'm so busy. I got scheduled on every night that has an open mic this week. At least all the open mics I like to go to, but that's okay. Uh, I'll probably be popping late. Tuesdays at Jive Bar and Grill in Louetta Drive. I might head down there. It starts late anyway, but I want to get there like a little early so I could get my name on the list. Cause I've been phoning it in lately. I don't know what's wrong with me. Like if I see too many people on the list, I was like, fuck it, I'm not doing this. But you know, I'll be I'll be fine. I'm still figuring it out in a way. I think that's what my issue is. So I'm only do a half hour today. I'm gonna go to school probably not. I don't have a class. I just go to the school and do my online courses while I'm sitting there. But uh, I'll try to get some work done. If I can't, just if I start just binging a show while I'm trying to study, which I try to do. That's how I procrastinate. But I'm gonna try to get work done. I'm gonna try to get back out there. Maybe I'll talk. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna start talking to more of my comic friends and see if they will be willing to do this more often. I swear, as soon as I address all the stuff on that fucking board right there, that shit I gotta buy and fix. That's why I don't have any money to make this shit in person, bro. I need a camera and another microphone. That's all I need. A camera, the camera, the tripod, and another microphone. And this thing is about it could be in person, and I could travel with it. I have a truck. I could travel with it. I could go to any like anyone's fucking house. Well, please stick around with me in the end. I'll try to do this at least once a week. I'll add it to the schedule. Not that I schedule anything. We'll just figure out. Anyways, the this has been the Against the Family podcast. Hope y'all take care.